What's up, droners, and welcome to this week's edition of Droner News. This week we have NASA getting involved, we have drones breaking speed records, and a lot more, like always. So let's do what we do. Coming in first, let's go ahead with the records. Guinness World Records has just awarded the Drone Racing League with the fastest drone on the planet, or quadcopter, I should say. It got up to 163 miles an hour. And quite honestly, it's actually faster than that, because if it had more of a place to go instead of 100 meters, it gets up over 180 miles an hour. It's called the Racer X, and holy crap, it's fast. Like, most racing drones are getting up to around 80 miles an hour, legally only up to 100, but they're normally doing a tight hairpin turn, so the actual just like speed of the drone isn't as important as the agility and the acceleration. But this drone was pretty tough to build because apparently, like, all of its predecessors would burst into flames. Straight up. Like, it's like they get up to the speed, just like poof, like in the air. And this one didn't do that. So I have to give a huge congratulations out to the Drone Racing League. If you guys don't know who they are pretty much the biggest drone racing entity there is. They're the ones who are on ESPN and all that. And they're also getting some more, publicity from doing things like this. So congratulations, you guys have the fastest drone in the world. And yeah, pretty interesting to watch. Coming up next, we have drones helping trees. And that's actually been kind of like a common thing, like way back when we had a drone that actually like would drop trees, like where people couldn't put them after like another drone helped to do it. Super cool stuff. Check it out, way back when. But Arbor Drones LLC has set up a test in Boulder, Colorado to be able to help battle the, what are they called? The ash. The emerald ash borer. It's pretty much like if you're ever in like an area that's like a big forest and there's a bunch of dead white trees. Typically the reason is an invasive species of ash borer that will go in there and kill the tree from the inside. So what they're doing with these drones is kind of like an agricultural drone where you can do like an overlay of like the heat map, and then you'll have like the impressions. You get a lot of information from the drone pretty much. What they did is they were able to actually use these drones to be able to determine exactly where the edge of these invasive species are, and be able to identify trees that were being attacked and weren't dead yet. And the idea is that they'll be able to stop the invasion from moving forward, as well as be able to save trees that are currently fighting for their lives against the ash borers. It's been a big thing for a long time in any national park or any forest anywhere, especially in the Pacific Northwest. So, hopefully drones can help save some of these trees, and we'll keep an eye on it. So coming up next, we have NASA announcing something that you wouldn't really expect. And their scientists actually were kind of surprised by it too, is what they found out is that drones are annoying, or at least the sound of them is very annoying to people. NASA brought a bunch of people in with the pretext of saying, hey, these are the future sounds of transportation, and then played car sounds, airplane sounds, drone sounds, a bunch of other sounds. And it was overwhelmingly like chosen that drones, even at the same volume of everything else, was just way worse. People hated it, which is a big deal because it's like almost like an alarm out to all the drone makers and the companies that are looking to use drones, is that the sound of drones is not a pleasant sound. And companies like Amazon actually instantly responded to this and talked about how they're doing noise dampeners for the drones. They're flying fast, they're flying high. Pretty much like, yo man, our drones ain't that loud, is really what they're attempting to do. And that's a big deal, because if you're gonna have drones that are doing deliveries or drones that are gonna be dealing with people on a daily basis in their lives, then typically you wanna have your customers have an experience that's pleasant. And if the sound ain't pleasant, then the experience ain't all that pleasant. So hopefully I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of technology or vibration reduction or noise reduction thing that we can come out with. But yeah, NASA's studying noise. Random. Coming up next is, we're gonna go more nerdy kind of stuff, more with NASA, is there's a drone on the International Space Station, but it actually doesn't have to do directly with NASA. This one is from JAXA, J-A-X-A, which is the Japanese equivalent of NASA. And what they did is they actually have like I'm gonna call it a Cortana-like drone that is put into the space station, ISS, that flies around and takes pictures for the astronauts. Now that doesn't seem like that's a big deal, but actually astronauts estimate that about 10% of their time is documentation of their work. And also this drone is allowing that people on the ground, who are the ones controlling it, are able to have an eye in the sky that they can move and be able to help out the astronauts and what they're doing and take the pictures. And it's almost just like it's having an avatar, not like movie avatar, but like video game avatar, where you have, like I said, Cortana, or if you play Zelda, the little fairy, then it's kind of like that, and it's helpful. So this is really cool to me, because this is the kind of technology that I see happening with drones, is that at some point our phones might become something that can fly like a drone and be able to help and assist us in all kind of other things, but flying next to us like a sidekick, because who wouldn't want that? All right, so the propulsion on this has to be interesting, because obviously if it's flying around the International Space Station, it's not having to deal with gravity. So it's having some other form of propulsion system that I don't know about. But either way, it looks really cool. Like, it has 2 eyes and lights on it and camera and stuff, and I want one. I want one that actually can counteract gravity. But either way, first step in the right direction. Coming in last, but well, kind sort of least, actually, is that Canada is looking to ban hunting drones. First of all, I will say that it is illegal in Canada to have any kind of airplane or helicopter help you or assist you in hunting. And this is kind of a case where like drones helping people isn't really helping people. The idea behind banning drones from helping hunters to spot and identify where the animals are is a lot, actually. One of the things is like, yo, man, if you gonna hunt, then hunt. Like, come on now. Like, yo, there's a drone up in the sky. Yeah, they're over there. Like, no, I mean, you gotta be able to find the stuff. Like, it's no longer hunting. It's just like, it's like shooting at targets at that point. And then the other point that you really got to understand is that there's people who get paid to be able to take people out to places where they know that there's going to be whatever wild game they want. That's an entire industry in Canada. And it can be ruined because everybody just has a drone and it's like, yeah, well, it doesn't matter where they think somebody's going to be. I just put it up in the air and fly around for 10 minutes and I know where everything is and, you know, and everywhere. So they're hoping to protect the natural wildlife. The law actually hasn't passed yet. But it looks like it might. And the guy who introduced it, Ian Avery of the Nova Scotia Federation of Anglers and Hunters, is lobbying the government to make this law happen. But the thing is about Avery, he's not a hater, man. Like, this dude flies drones for himself. He understands very well what drones can do, but he also understands very well what hunting is and how it's going to hurt the hunting industry for drones to do that. So I'm actually going to get my thumbs up for this. I don't think hunters should be using drones. I don't. I mean, if I was hunting, I probably would want to, but I'm not a hunter. That's my point, is that for me, if I'm gonna go kill something, I'm gonna wanna eat it and I wanna make that as easy as possible. But that's different for hunting for sport. Hunting for sport, you shouldn't be using drones. Good job, Canada. Droners, thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Droner News. This is our 60th episode. What? Either way, if you wanna see more of the other 59 episodes, they're right here. Or if you wanna check out the dopest intro video that's ever existed, we got it right here. As always, make sure you support us one of two ways, Patreon or subscribe. That's super dope of you to do. And make sure you stay fly.